Just a recap, this about to be a year when me and Darryl, yeah, it's about to be a year next week with that. We had our first podcast episode.
I think so.
So if you guys remember, this is Darryl D. Banks, aka D. Banks, just came back from LA.
Yeah.
We're just gonna get into the pod real quick though.
Let's dive right into it, man.
How was LA, dude? How was it?
I'm ready. Dude, LA's good. It's definitely a change. Like coming from a place like, Plainfield, Illinois, it's a lot different. Weather's different, people are different. I would just say overall it's different, but it's good. I really like being out there. It's a good change, putting yourself in a different environment. I feel like it's huge. You know what I mean? You get in to meet new people, make new connections and stuff like that. So yeah.
For the people that don't know, why did he move out to
Yeah.
LA? Why I moved out to LA? Okay, yeah. So for the people that don't know why I moved out to LA, I got an opportunity to work with Xeela Fitness. And for you guys that don't know what that is, it's a fitness company. They sell supplements, so pre-workout, protein, workout guides as well. And they have another side of the company basically, and they do documentaries. So they'll shoot documentaries on certain people about like their weight losses and like kind of how they get through it and stuff like that. So yeah, I got the opportunity to go film out there with them.
Because I remember you wanted to go to Miami. So we're
Yeah.
gonna touch topics on that. How did that choose? Why did you choose LA? Because first it was Texas, then Miami, then LA. You told me.
Yeah.
Then out of nowhere, you just shot it all the way to LA.
Yeah, dude. No, so it was like you said, it was Texas, Miami, then LA.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to Miami. I was about a month away from moving out there, because I just felt like I needed to move out of Illinois just in general, because I just needed to create more opportunity and stuff. But once I got the opportunity from Xeela to be their videographer and editor on their documentaries, I was like, I kind of was just ready for any opportunity at any given moment. And so I got the opportunity to go out to LA, and I was like, let's just do it. So, and it's crazy how the process happened. It happened like super last minute. So I ended up going out to Rhode Island to shoot at the Barstool event for Susie's boxing match. Yeah, so we were out there and we were getting some good content. She had a boxing match. She lost, but she hung in there, man. Dude, she battled it out, and I really would have give it to her because, dude, she stood in there, and not a lot of people have the balls to go into a boxing ring, right? So, I mean, props to her. But, we were filming for the documentary out there. Ilya was able to see some of my work, and for you guys that don't know Ilya, he runs Xeela. So he's the owner of the company at Xeela.
So before I actually dive into that, because it's actually cool, like the people you actually met.
Yeah.
So you said actually with Illinois, you said you wanted to leave. What was the main reason why you wanted to leave here? Because you grew a lot, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I was on tour previously with the Boys in 98, shooting a whole bunch of stuff, and I think really what I learned from that was just, and that was my first time really leaving Illinois. I think from that I just really understood the importance of getting out of your comfort zone and going to new places and meeting new people, because you never know where the next opportunity is going to take you, and during that era as well, after the Boys in 98, I was able to go back to Florida and shoot some content. I was going to Texas shooting some content, and it's like from people in the past that I had worked with. I got flown out to San Diego to go shoot some DJs. Shifty, shout out to Shifty. Next DJs, they're up and coming. So, but yeah, so it's like, stuff like that where I really was, traveling a lot and just shooting content for whoever and wherever. Like that's what allowed me to do, is just traveling. Like you just got to get out of your comfort zone,
That's cool.
So,
because when you moved to LA, I saw your Snapchat. It was like January around that time, right?
Yes,
Right.
January. Yep.
So when I saw when you made that pivot over there, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then you posted your condo and your apartment. I'm like, oh shit. How was that though, to actually get your official apartment by yourself in LA?
It was crazy. And like I said, it was like so last minute because, going back to the Rhode Island thing, Ilya was like, how would you like to come out to California and, do this full time basically? And I was just like, at that time, I was ready to do anything. I was willing to move across the country, in which I did, right, into my first apartment I've ever lived in, and now at that time I was 21, now I'm 22, but it was a lot of learnings, it was exciting, it was emotional. I feel like I felt like every single emotion possible, just because you move to a new city, it's not like you know, you have family around there. I had no family in California. I didn't know anybody other than the people I was working with, like Ilya and Bella, and the rest of their crew. You know, I didn't know anybody, and you just got to take that jump. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And you didn't go to school to film either. You didn't go to school at all. Just one semester you dropped out. You told me.
No, I went for one semester and I had dropped out after that. But you know, from there I was just really wanting to focus on what I enjoyed doing, and it was filming and editing. And so I just kind of went on YouTube, started learning my own stuff. And no, I didn't go to school for any of it, but I just, you know, taught myself how to learn through, you know, social media or YouTube or whatever that is, or even books and stuff, just to make sure I stay at the top of my game, you know, because
I like that.
The competition is, dude, it's hot.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays in social media. It's like everybody is creating content.
Yeah.
But you know what I like a lot though, and I like a lot about you, and you too as well. You guys, you do vintage, so like you never went to school how to do business, right? You never went to school to do social media,
Exactly.
right? And it's like you just look up YouTube life experience videos are just expanding, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
I don't know, it's cool because like right now you, after a year, you moved to LA, work with big people. You did that beforehand too.
Yeah.
You're doing your vintage stuff, and this Friday you're gonna go to Emporium to actually sell your stuff. It's just crazy how all that works, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess it's like a passion. Like whenever you like really find something you love, it's like at some point you just get good at it, and at that point it's like it comes like into like a business basically.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But
No,
going back to you though, it's like the passion. Like you, when I first met you, you just had that. I'm gonna tell you this too. I'm not sugarcoating it. I just met you one-on-one.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't met another person like that because you just had that passion, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't know you that well. 8 months, 9 months later, dude, look what you've done.
Yeah.
Like, you're just hungry, bro. Like, I don't know. You're not willing to quit. Like, you moved to another city, moved to another state, left your parents behind.
Yeah.
You're in a relationship too. You know, it's hard too as well. But you still managed everything, balanced it together. I saw you travel back and forth too. So you put that effort, bro.
Dude, I was traveling a lot. I mean, I would even when I was in LA, you know, I was coming back to Chicago. We went out to Miami. We went to Hawaii. You know, we were traveling a lot, you know, and so we got some really cool content. But yeah, going back to your side again, it's like, you know, leaving my family, it was hard. Leaving my friends back here, it was hard. But really, at the end of the day, you just gotta kind of do what you think is best for yourself.
Yeah. What's like a moment, or like what's one of your favorite moments out in LA?
My favorite moments?
Yeah.
I would say it's kind of hard to answer that, because if I'm being completely real, like I said, I didn't move out there, and I didn't have any family out there. I didn't have any friends. And not only did I not have any family or friends out there, I also wasn't really like looking to make, you know, friends that really didn't mean anything to me. You know what I mean? I was just really there with my head down. I was working a lot. You know, I was putting in 50, 60, 70-hour weeks, like with Xeela. I was really putting in a lot of time and effort into that. And, you know, at the end of the day, I moved over there to work. You know what I mean? I moved over there to, you know, learn a lot. I moved over there to film, edit, and just kind of build up my skill set. So, I mean, to answer that question, there wasn't really much going out. And I think it's just the vibe of being in LA, being in a different spot, like, and whatever. I think that's what was probably, if I could take anything away from that, that's what it is. You know,
it's dope. You know what stuck to me though that actually impacted me? Remember when we had that? I think we were in your car, or I think we was on the pod too when I said I wanted to drop out.
Yeah.
So like, I thought about it a lot too, but mostly what stuck to me, what you said. I'm telling you, bro. Like, this is no homo shit, but like what stuck to me. No, I look up to you. No, bro.
Yeah.
Because like it's something like I keep pushing myself. When you just said like you didn't leave your friends because you just thought you were better. You just said that they weren't really speaking your language, right? Because you wanted a different vision.
Yeah.
That's what kind of made me not separate myself, but actually like stay in my lane. Like, okay, like I can manage school. I like school.
Of course.
Right? It made me actually answer the question I was looking for. Something that you actually taught me without me actually personally telling you.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
it stuck to me.
Totally. Yeah. And that, like you said, staying in that lane and making sure that you're really just focusing on it, you. And it's not that you want to, you know, make any other of your friends feel a certain type of way, like you're better than them or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think it's just more so making sure that you're following your passion, making sure that you're keeping the really, really good ones around you, right? Because I could say, you know, I could count my friends on, you know, one hand. You know what I mean? And those friends, like I say they're friends, but they're I would say they're closer than friends, because these are people that I talk to on a weekly basis that they're not jealous. You know what I mean? If I'm doing something better than them at that time, and I'm not jealous if they're doing something better than me, because at the end of the day, I want my friends to be doing better than me. You know what I mean? Because that means they're doing something good. One, and two, that means it's something I could learn from, right?
Some real shit.
Exactly. And then now I also have that relationship with them, and you know, being a good friend and being there for them and supporting them along the way, then they're gonna be right there to help me through whatever I'm going through to get to where they're at.
No, yeah.
Right. So yeah, that just goes back to
it's just dope, bro. How I heard this too. This quote, I think I told you too. It's like a rocket ship. Like you look at the rocket ship. The higher it goes, you know how parts go away. Yeah. Because the higher the altitude you are, those little parts can't go where the destination's going.
Exactly.
Right? So it has to fall apart. So I say like, the more you grow, the more you try to level up or just grow as a person, those little parts, it doesn't have to be like bad blood with your friends. It's just like they can't go that high, as high as you want.
Of course. So I love that analogy. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So right. And so sorry to cut you off. No. Just something I just wanted to put out there. It's like the analogy, going back to what you just said about the rocket ship. It's like, you know, you start to also realize, if you were putting it into like a friend group perspective, right? You start to realize that like your friend group is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller as you grow. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, think about how many friends you had in high school, right? Yeah. Like, and now, look at it now, it's smaller. And then as you grow, it's only going to get smaller. Yeah. Right. Sure. And you want to just make sure that since it's getting smaller, that those people are valued. Yeah. Right. To 10 people, you know what I mean? To 20 people, whatever that is. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like me personally, like you become like one of the best friends, dude. Yeah. I've told him like a lot of stuff too. Like what, the last 4 months we've traveled a lot too together and done shit. So it becomes smaller and smaller for sure.
And just to piggyback off that too, because I mean, I've been noticing as well too. I know you guys got me in the podcast. But I know it's really cool to like see where you guys started. And where you guys are at now. I mean, I remember when we were getting dinner. I think RH Rooftop, and you guys had maybe 100 followers? 120, 150 followers. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And like, you know, you guys stuck together through it. Yeah. And like, since you're traveling a lot and everything too, it's like, look where you guys are at now. You guys are about to hit 10K on Instagram. Yeah. You know, I think it's really cool to see that growth from you guys as well. So
what the dopest part is just like meeting the people. Yeah. I feel like just meeting the connections, right? Like having those bridges open. It's like you said, they're not really friends. Yeah, they're acquaintances, right?
Of course.
You have like a mutual thing that you guys want to have. Yeah. Right? And whenever like you need a favor or they need a favor, return it back. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I don't know. It's cool because like, and it's funny how we met. I did tell you the story how we met, right?
How
you
did you tell Gerson?
Yeah. Did I tell you how me?
Yeah. No.
So Zinnia. So he was watching the Canelo fight, in my understanding. Yeah. And like these two friends went up to him. And then as soon as you said something about like the NELK boys or something,
no, dude, then they were like, oh well, like, you know, I got some friends, whatever. But dude, because I was at a bar in Wrigleyville, and I was with one of my buddies, and we were just watching the Canelo fight. Yeah. Okay. And then from there, we were walking out, and then somebody had stopped us, and was talking to my friend, and then she was like, she said something about, you know, she has some friends that have a podcast, whatever, because I told her that, you know, I'm more on like the content, like kind of side of things and stuff like that. And she was like, yeah, well, I got to connect you guys. And then I had said, you know, I had filmed a video back last year with the boys in 98 and the NELK boys, a golf video. And then she was like, oh, dude, these guys are going to love it. I got to go tell Pedro. And then Pedro like reached out to me immediately. I want to say like that
days
night.
Later.
I think he tried reaching out that night, and then I had already like gone back home and stuff, and then I had hit him back up, and then now we're here. So
when there's an opportunity, man, I'll take it. You know what I mean? Like I like to be on the spot.
Exactly.
The Miami trip. We did in 2 days.
But it's stuff. Yeah, no, exactly, dude. And it's like stuff like that where, you know, you get the opportunity. Yeah. You never know what happens if you don't take it.
100%. Like you told us when you first started your like filming it, like when you found out you loved filming it. Yeah. Like that whole restaurant thing with you were the manager for like you remember
for
when you went to that restaurant because you had like all those I forgot what was it, you had like a photo shoot for those
Yeah.
Was it a restaurant?
Yeah, in the restaurant, they were like, "Oh, you had to be 21 and over."
You were still 19.
Yeah. No, it was a club actually.
Hey, close it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm,
That's
you know,
boss stuff,
I'm 21,
bro.
you know. But it's like you gotta just like kind of sometimes like push it a little bit just to see, not too much, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? You want to make sure that you're not getting in trouble, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you gotta
really some risk.
Yeah, you gotta take the risk.
Yeah.
Right? And
But I like it because it led you here today.
exactly.
So, I mean, regardless of how we met, like it led us here today and we just like the connections. Like it's just so crazy. But maneuvering to like to LA when you moved over there, what did your parents say? What did friends say the moment you just said, I'm going to move right there?
I feel like it's funny because you say that because I feel like almost more people started hitting me up.
Really?
I don't know, like, and it was kind of like before I had moved out there. I really, you know, a lot of like older friends had kind of really fallen off. I really hadn't made contact with them. But it's funny you asked that question because when I was there, I felt like a lot more people were hitting me up or were trying to hit me up. I'm not sure like what the reason could be. It could be because, you know, they see I'm out in LA, they want to take a trip or they want to do, you know what I mean, whatever.
Right.
Or they see the people that I'm around now, right? But I feel like it's all about like how you carry yourself and how you kind of navigate through those things, because that's gonna happen when, you know, friends are gonna want to hit you up from the past that see you're doing good now and they want to reconnect and whatever, but they weren't there when, you know what I mean, I was going through all my other struggles trying to get to that point, right, leading up to it. So
I want to touch on that subject a little bit more too as well, because I got my first hate comment like 2 weeks ago too, as well. I talked about it in the last fight with Robert. But still on that one, like when you started, like, let's just say from the bottom, you had like not really a lot of people around you, right? Or just like some kid doing videos. So when you moved out there, started hanging out with these people, how do you know who to let in, who not to let in? Because there's new people that are just showing around, you know?
No, that's a great question as well. I think you just have to, dude, it's hard, man. It's such a hard question to answer, and it's such a great question at the same time because it's hard to explain it, right? Being there, like, and with the caliber of like those people, everybody is trying to get a piece of you, right? You can go out, everybody's trying to, you know, figure out a way to make themselves better, whether it's in social media or how, like appearance or whatever it is, and they just want a piece of you, right? If that means like they're gonna keep hitting you up or trying to like tell you just whatever and trying to convince you to bring them here, like take me to this party, let's go here, whatever. It's just it's really hard because that's where a lot of the fake people come out, and it's hard to kind of navigate through that, especially since like you're talking about really, really like high up. I wouldn't even really call them influencers. I would just say like creators that were, you know, are really well known, and from there it's like you have to just know how to carry yourselves, because if you let in people like that, they're just gonna run you right over.
Step over.
Is there like some? So I know you worked with I don't know if you still are. Are you still working with Xeela Fitness or?
So yeah, that's a great question as well. I'm part-time kind of, so like it really just depends whenever they're looking for work. So I was with Xeela full-time. I was doing that through up until like August, like mid-August, and then from there I ended up going part-time due to my new production company that we're going to be opening up. So, or I should say that is already open, right? It's been a work in progress though. So like when I moved out to LA originally, there really wasn't much. Like I had something in the works, but it was just, there really wasn't much, and it wasn't enough for me to say, okay, I'm going to do this full time, or even part time at least, because I needed a full time job, and I was looking for a full time opportunity. And then from there, I was also, you know, still, like I said, in the works of finding partners for, you know, a production company, and finding, you know, the ins and outs of how to run a production company and stuff like that. So then once it kind of got more towards August, I ended up going part-time, you know, freelance, or part-time contractors, stuff like that with them, because I wouldn't even say it's full part-time because I haven't really been working hours of a part-time, but it's just whenever they need an extra videographer, an editor, I'll kind of chime in just to, you know, help them out. But so I started a production company. It's called DNA Productions, and so now I have two partners in that. My brother being one of them, and another buddy of ours, I would say. His name is Aiden, and he works at Meta, and he's a really smart guy.
Oh,
too.
nice.
So we have a really strong team. And my brother, his background is what's it called? I'm drawing a blank.
He does tech.
I'm already drawing a blank. No, he does recruiting. So he had done recruiting for Google, Amazon, some of those larger scale companies. And from there, I kind of was like, well, he does recruiting, he builds out teams, what I mean? He does a lot of good stuff on that end. And then the other guy, Aiden, he does a lot more like analytical stuffs and, back end business kind of stuff, making sure everything's getting paid, making sure everybody's getting paid out. He's really, really good at that. So I figured, well, we have those three really strong components, and it's a powerhouse. Yeah. And I was like, in that time, it was a really hard, decision to make because I was given the opportunity to stay with Xeela. But, I just figured that, I had a really good opportunity and I couldn't really pass it up. And being this young, I'm still, I'm 22 now. Yeah. But I feel like, like I've always kind of talked about in the past, it's just, dude, for me, it's like I just had to take that opportunity.
Yeah.
How does that work though? So like when Xeela hits you up, is it by contract or by video? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So now it's just probably gonna be just by an hourly.
Okay.
Just depending on the workload.
Okay.
It's not gonna be salary like it was previously, but it'll probably just be like an hourly rate.
I always wonder that too with videographers. Like, do they pay you like, 5 videos, do this, and that, and we'll pay you this amount? Yeah. Or are they gonna pay you just by hourly to salary?
So it really depends because videographers, I feel like dude, it's up here or it's down here. Like the pay range it's so like sporadic. Like there's videographers charging just for a shooting day, half a day, they're shooting they're charging $1,000 to $2,000 like a day.
Yeah. And
whether you're shooting for 3 hours or 5 hours, it's still gonna be 2,000 or 1,000 or whatever, in the thousands. But then there's that other tier of videographers and editors that are maybe not as experienced and they're just getting into the game and they're like $15 an hour. Or $20 an hour, $25 an hour.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's really a big, difference.
Well, your resume has to be included too. So like now since your resume is already kind of long, impressive actually, to be honest, at this age, how do you approach that to them? Like if they tell you, hey, I want you, what's like your price range? For like half a day. I don't want to go too in detail with your
half a day. Yeah, I would probably say closer to, usually I like for now I'm going hourly just because the amount of work that they need or even other people need, sometimes it's not necessarily half a day. And I'll typically do 200 an hour.
Okay.
With some clients, I'll work with them. I really don't like to. I like to kind of keep my price the way it is because the structure that I have is just it's a lot of equipment, it's a lot of time, it's getting to the location, it's setting up, so a lot of people just think it's you just pick up the camera, you go and you film.
I agree with that because I didn't understand that when I first started until we started doing it too. The time, the equipment, it's just crazy, dude. The videographers don't really get credit the much they need, bro.
No, they really don't. They really, really don't.
And it's hard.
Yeah, no, bro. Yeah, yeah.
You gotta learn on YouTube, bro.
Yeah, no, the video from video to editing, it's not easy. I feel like, and it's really time consuming. Yeah. So it takes a lot of time, and I think. That's the problem with videographers as well too. Is like, now I kind of look back and I see other videographers, they'll charge, $100 day rate or $200 just to get their foot in the door, which I totally understand. Yeah. I think they should be doing that.
Yeah.
But once you get to like kind of this point where I'm at now, I look back and I'm like, man, like for the amount of money I paid for just a single camera, let alone like, and I'm charging like $100 for this. It's like, it's just not worth it. Yeah. And then the SD cards, like SD cards nowadays, dude, bro, they go by quick. And not only that, like, depending on what camera you're shooting on. Yeah, the lacy, like depending on what camera you're shooting on, though, the SD cards could range up from $25 to $400.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
It's insane.
You shoot a 4K, that 128 gigabytes gonna last you like 40 minutes.
Yeah. No, yeah.
That's it. Podcast, 40 minutes, and that's it.
Exactly.
I didn't understand, dude. I'm telling you, I learned so much.
Yeah.
Doing this because one simple reel used to take me maybe like a day to fucking edit.
Yeah.
And then and it's nothing compared to yours.
Yeah.
I see your reels and I'm like,
Yeah,
just dude.
those reels, I fuck with the reels that you
Thank you,
posted.
bro.
Like, you getting up in the day and shit.
Oh yeah,
those are cool.
Thank you, bro. I know I was doing this for a little bit, and then I stopped. Like I said with Xeela, we were working a lot. There was a lot of work, and I think I just felt, especially like being on my own, just learning a lot of things. Right, I was posting some of those reels. I had stopped, and I was just kind of learning the process of like trying to keep a schedule, trying to make sure like I'm making sure I'm good, right? Being out there by myself, and like it's just a lot of figuring things out. But yeah, maybe those will come back. Maybe those will come back. Yeah.
So like with being alone and figuring out your mental health, how did you keep? Because you're always working 24/7. How did you keep yourself like sane?
FIFA. No. I was FIFA's a video game for you guys. If you guys don't know what that is.
You think you could beat me in FIFA?
Oh, easily.
Easy.
Everyone says that.
No. Like easy. I actually have it too. If you want to run.
Oh wait, I'm gonna embarrass you. Oh my god.
Hey, don't beg me. But yeah, no. Going back to kind of how I kept that balance of things. I would just say like trying to stay in a routine as much as possible, and also just allowing yourself to know when to stop. Because sometimes I would feel like I would push myself really hard some days, and the next day like my sleep schedule's off, or I don't get to the gym, and then now I'm eating bad, and I just feel like I'm just completely off, and it's hard to get back on it once you're off of those things.
You got big though.
And thank you, man. Thank you, dude. I've been trying to get in the gym more, and those are the things I've been learning, right? So like making sure I'm waking up at a decent time, making sure I'm working out, making sure I'm eating right, because all those things go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I mean, coming like realistically, when you get back to your office and you start working, it's like that's what's gonna give you the energy to keep up, and I love it. So
I asked that too because dude, like it's rough.
Yeah.
You're maintaining. I'm seeing what you're doing. Like a lot of people are just like, this kid's just probably picking up a camera, recording.
Yeah.
They don't understand the money. Like the ladies, I'm telling you, what, $200?
Yeah.
We split $200, SD cards, video editing and stuff like that. Like the amount of stress, time you have to go out and actually film, work on their schedule.
Exactly.
And then you have to still go back, edit that. Yeah, you get paid really well, but every single day is just editing, and then you don't really think about yourself.
Exactly. And that's where I was really felt like I was kind of getting carried away. I was like, man, like, am I really doing this for myself? Because you always ask you that question, right? Or you kind of ask yourself again, when you're doing something for so much of your day and so much of your time, like on a day in and day out basis, like, yes, I love it, right? But eventually, like, you're gonna hit like these you're gonna hit these walls. Yeah, you're gonna hit these walls that you feel like, am I doing this because I love it? Am I doing it because I hate it? Or am I doing it for somebody else and not for me? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, you start asking yourself all these questions. So I think that's why too, like mentally you gotta, take your breaks as needed. Cause dude, like staring at the screen too, man, it's like, hurts you. Bro, I need to get like blue light glasses or something.
I'll let you know.
I know. Some Gucci one. I don't, nah, I gotta get something. But no, that's the mental.
Mental
for it. Yeah, I would say for me too, I would go to Running Canyon. I don't know if you heard of it. It's like a mountain on LA. Everybody goes hiking.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen Jeff Woodick.
Yeah. Jeff's always out there. I always like see his stories too. And I see him at Erewhon. Sometimes he'll walk in there and like all the guys. But yeah, no, I'll do that. So
it's what I like to remind myself when I feel like that too. You probably do it too sometimes, and I think I've told you it's well, I feel like you already know where you want to end up, like the vision, right? Your end goal, right?
Yeah.
So like the moment you feel tired or exhausted, just goes to anyone. Just remind, like when I wake up and I have 2-3 hours of sleep, I wake up and I'm just like, am I willing to do this for the next 2-3 years?
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm gonna reach the other side of the mountain where I want to be. And I ask that question, I'm just like, yeah, 100%. That's what keeps me going. You know what I mean? I ask myself, if this was gonna take for the next 5 years, no money, no results.
Yeah.
Am I willing to do it and suffer for the next 5 years to get the other side? I asked myself that, and I'm just like, yep.
Yeah. And it's not like, it's not suffer because you hate it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm on the same boat, I mean? It's like, it's not, suffer because, I hate what I do.
Yeah.
That's not the case. It's just, you know what I mean? It's like suffer in a way of, you know, put yourself through this, put yourself through each and every single hour that you're working day in and day out and consistently do it. Like that's what the suffering is, right? Because not everybody's willing to do that.
Be in an uncomfortable situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I like that too, but you've been pushing through, bro. I'm going to tell you that you possibly were doing like the DNA stuff. When did you figure out you wanted to do that though?
So, I always like had that entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah. I remember you telling us like in last podcast you wanted to start. Yeah, you did create your own like.
Yeah, exactly. And so I did. I created my own for like in the fall. I had started my own production company, right? Just myself.
Yeah.
And you know, long story short, what I was kind of realizing and learning from other people is that, you know, it doesn't matter if you own 100% of the company if the company's not making any money, right? And it's not that I wasn't making money. I was making, you know, pretty good money. But the thing is that, you know, you get to a certain point where you kind of can only do so much on your own.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the point I felt like I was getting to. And I'm always like, I always want more. Right. I'm always like achieving or everything I do, I want to achieve more. Right. So on a larger scale, it's not just like, okay, I'm going to hit this milestone or 3K a month or 4K a month and stop. And so what I realized, like, if I really want to have a business that can grow like into something bigger than me, I need to go into it with a bigger vision. Right. So that's when I had decided, you know, taking on my brother and us partnering and taking on another partner just to really like grow this thing on a different scale. Right. You know, like I can only do so much by myself, and having these other brains and putting them together, that's what we really want to create. We want to create one of the biggest media agencies in the world. And that's like what I plan on doing. And it will get to that point. I promise you that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, you know, right now we're doing well. Right now we you know, we have a couple of clients on our belt, so we have them on a retainer basis. And what we do is we'll go out to location, we'll shoot content for these companies, and we'll get that content, we'll backlog it for 30 days, and then we'll post the content on their social media platforms. And we'll also handle their social media if they want to. Those are just a couple of different options that we offer.
So do you take like a piece of their content? Like, do they give you a percentage of their content, or how does that work?
So we'll have them on a retainer system.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we do is we'll have them on a retainer system, and they'll pay us for the content, and then we can also do social media management for them as well to take that aspect off of their plate. Because obviously, as a business owner, there's so many other things to do.
Yeah.
Right. Like, think about it. If you guys were just able to, you know, sit in front of the camera, get your content done and filmed, and just have it get posted, you guys could focus on more things. You could really focus about growing the company. Where we come in and we take that off your plate.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
I see the approach. I see the approach. I like it. I see the approach on it.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
That's where we're at.
And that's when you said you're gonna go to Texas to do that, right? Austin.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be moving to Austin, Texas.
That's lit, bro.
My partners live there. I figured, you know, it's, you know, I might as well be there because I've been flying back and forth from Texas to LA probably for the past 2 months now, and I'm going again in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Just because we have clients there, and you know, we also you know, we'll have clients all over the country, so anywhere from Florida, LA, Chicago. So.
To get like an estimate then, so like let's just say, and we could like block this out too, because it's just too soon for you to put those prices out there. But like let's just say if we wanted to, what would be like the price right there for like an average social media platform?
You're saying for like a monthly kind of like
based off like how you guys do,
like based off our structure.
Yeah.
As of right now, with the team being not as big as we like soon to have, it would probably be, you know, it really just depends what kind of package you choose, but the range is anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 a month.
Okay.
So it really just depends on what you guys want. Do you want us to handle social media? Do you guys want us to write captions? Do you want to run digital ads as well? Is that something that you're interested in too? Because we also have a couple other team members that are professionals in digital ads that we can take on content and run them. And since we're already creating the content, we already know what's good. We know what works. You know what I mean? And they're basically just the one overseeing it.
Right.
So yeah.
Like that's cool. It's dope.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's dope, bro. So no, it's definitely been like a lot of time. Like we started, I would say, just like thinking of ideas, nothing crazy, probably like you know, I would say right before summer. And then from there, it's been a few months now, and we've just been putting all of our heads together, and now we're here. So
another question that I want to know: how do you know who to choose to be partners? How do you pick your partners? Because this isn't like you guys are just starting off putting no money, right?
Yeah.
This is actually you guys are putting, I'm assuming, thousands of precious dollars and time. How do you choose the right? Your brother's your brother.
Exactly.
But adding other people to it and trusting different levels. How do you trust those people to work with your money, to not lose it, to care about it? Yeah. How do you get other people there's a lot of questions.
No, of course.
Like, ask them. Like, how do you get someone, because you and your other partners, right? You, your brother, and your other friend.
Correct.
You three, and I'm assuming you guys already have like a team of 5 or other people.
4 or 5-ish. Yeah, some like contracting stuff. So like other contractors.
First, how do you choose your partners? Yeah. How do you kind of not make, I can't find the proper words, but how do you like encourage your teammates or the workers to work as hard as you or want it as bad as you?
Yeah. So to answer the first question, like the partners, right? It's like, first of all, it's really not easy to find partners, and it doesn't come across like every single day, right? That you find the right person to do it. So obviously my brother being one, it's somebody I could trust, right? So that's the first thing. I would say definitely somebody you could trust. Somebody that has that same drive as you and same passion, that entrepreneur spirit, that they're willing to really do anything. And, they're organized, right? They have a structure, some sort of structure that they follow, and also experience, right? And some type of proof that they can, be trusted with not only just the money, but the product that we're selling, right? And also like how enthusiastic they're going to be behind selling that product, right? Or just being a part of the team in general.
Right.
And those are the 3 things we really looked for, because I feel like without any of those, then, it's hard to have a partner. Yeah. And it's not easy, like I said. So that's why when I was able to have this like group of, partners that I could partner with, I was like, I was really kind of weighing out like the pros and cons, and I was just like, it's not easy. It's really not an everyday thing that you could find this. So
it's something I thought about, because I fantasize it too sometimes. I daydream. I'm just like, okay, let's just say in your 20s, 2 years, 3 years, let's just say we get a couple $100,000, right? Yeah. We start getting people like to do content for us. How do you know who to trust? How do you know how to go with it? Because this is money going in, bro. Equipment, right?
Of course, dude. I mean, I have $15,000 worth of equipment.
That's like, I remember you telling me that.
Actually, company already. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of, things that go into it. But, I think it's just finding those 3 things that you can really, you have to trust them, and you have to make sure that they're going to put in the same amount of work as, you could. And what I would say too is like, not necessarily partners, because the partners, they have that entrepreneurial mindset, and they want to be a part of that, right? I would say when it comes down to team members or contractors or anybody that you're looking for, I would just say like finding, people that right in that sweet spot of they have enough experience, but not like a professional quite yet, because then that's where you could kind of take them under their wing, and that's where you could kind of be like, you could really like show them the ropes. You know what I mean?
Grow some talent. Yeah. Pick out the talent and stuff.
Yeah. Like a mentor, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Because now not only can they learn something from you, but it's also like they get to be a part of something that's coming up, and they get to be a part of, these things that they didn't see before. And then now once you kind of like teach them the ropes and stuff like that, then they'll really be, passionate about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think about this a lot too. I like that too. I'm asking these questions because I'm just like, it's tough, right? To get someone to see the vision you have.
Oh yeah.
And like, but also to like grow it as a company. And it's very, very different compared to what we're doing to you, because you're having thousands of dollars on the table with it.
Of course.
So one single dollar is precious.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. Like finding those loyal people is tough. Yeah. And especially the people that want to take advantage of you,
Yeah, dude. It really is. And that's why it's like, it's funny you say that. I'm not going to say too much about it just because there's nothing really locked in quite yet. But, it's tough. You really have to make sure that anybody that you take on, you're really like doing a deep dive on them, because it's not like you never want to go into business obviously with somebody that's gonna steal from your company, or somebody that's not trustworthy, and there's a lot that goes into it. You know what I mean? I feel like trust is just the biggest thing.
Trust,
right? Yeah, trust.
I think trust their work ethic's 100%.
Yeah, work ethic. Yep.
Yeah, like work ethic, dude.
Yeah.
Like first money, I feel like I think that's number one. Trust might be number two, but it should be number one for me.
Yeah.
I just see like how bad you want it, right?
Exactly.
Like if you're willing to like go, I'm not saying days without like sleeping and stuff, but like put some hours into it. You know what I mean? Like
It's just like if you work on my team, you can't sleep. You can't sleep.
no blinking,
No.
but
No, nothing. But yeah.
But the work ethic is for sure 100% what I look at. It's like I don't know, like everyone. I always tell him too, and he says it too to me. Like you see it on social media, like everyone wants to like flex on all this luxury shit, right?
Yeah.
No one wants to put the work behind it. No one wants to actually like grind it out.
No, really.
You know?
No, and that's what it is, and that's what you guys are doing. That's what our team is doing. I mean, and I think having partners too, just to go back on it, is it really helps when you have those types of people in your corner, because not everybody's perfect, right? You're gonna have your off days, right? And you're gonna have your good days, and it's really just on my off days when I have them, I have my partners to come and lift me up, and they're like, yo, you got to be doing this, like you missed out on this task, like we got to make sure we get that done, you know what I mean? And then on their days too, I'm right there with them, so you really get to bounce those kind of things off of each other and really like motivate each other to just keep going. It's like a train, right? And you just got to keep building that railroad, you know what I mean? You got to keep building it, and whether that takes 2, 3, 4 people, whatever it is, you just got to keep building it. You know what I mean? So
I like that, man.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna go back to the LA stuff.
Yeah.
Of course I'm gonna try to get some clips. You say?
Yeah.
But so when you first like started hanging out with like Xeela and like this high caliber people, what's your approach to them? Because I only asked that too, because like the more we started hanging out with these people too around, they're not like, I want to say famous, but like just like Kush Poppy and stuff like that, Alex Holem and stuff. End of the day, they're just cool, right? Yeah, like regardless of their following count, like when we met Kyle and stuff like that, or Steiny, they're just people.
Yeah.
So like how approach, like what's the approach you go before meeting these big celebrities?
I would just say like they're just people.
Yeah.
They're just people, and at the end of the day, it's not really about status. Like I'm there to do a job, right? I'm there to work. I'm there to show my work ethic, and I really do stand behind and like the work that I do, and that's all I was there to do. You know what I mean? So and they're good people too.
Yeah.
I will really say like Ilya's a great person to work with. Their whole team is really, really good. We definitely put in a lot of hours, but all around great people. And then once you start seeing them every day, like you said, they're just like any other person. They just have a higher number above their name on social media. That's it.
Yeah, that is true too as well. But who's just someone that was just a dick? Who's just someone who was just like, I
honestly say like,
we could blur it out too, but like,
no, I would honestly say like nobody.
Okay.
Like realistically, nobody. It's funny because that's the first thing you would think of, right?
Yeah.
Like there's got to be one, right? Out of the group.
Yeah.
But like, no, I wouldn't say there was anybody that really stood out like that. Everybody was really cool with me. Every time like I did go to David's house or anywhere else to film, like I was pretty much like in and out, and got the work done I needed to get done, and we would do some stuff on the weekend sometimes. We were over there and we were filming, play some pickleball with
that's becoming very, very, very famous.
Or Alex. No, it is
pickleball.
Pickleball.
Do you hang out with them outside of work or no?
So yeah, I would, as like occasionally. Okay. Like I said, I really didn't like try to make any friends out there like the first part, and because I was working so much too, it was just like by the time I go home, dude, I was just like pooped. But yeah, no, definitely like sometimes like after filming days after work, I'll play pickleball, like I said, with Alex or Ilya, and they had some friends come over and stuff like that. So yeah, it was, I would say I was had like some sort of like friendship with them outside of work as well too. So yeah.
That is crazy. And what would you say? What's like a highlight in LA? Your biggest highlight? I know you asked you earlier too, but what's like a good memory? Let's just say that. What's something valuable to you that you've done over there in LA that's always gonna stick to you?
Man, I would honestly say probably when we went to go film with Susie, the Spartan race. And there's two things. Okay. So we went to go to Las Vegas to film a Spartan race with Susie and with the Xeela team, right? And so we went out there, and I actually ended up, it was I don't know if have you heard of the Spartan race?
No, but I know I've seen it somewhere in your Snapchat.
Yeah, so it's like, dude, it's like this like 7-mile obstacle in the desert. Like you're climbing ropes, you're doing all this stuff, whatever. And originally I thought, I was like, okay, we're gonna, go there and we're gonna film, but by checkpoint. So like there might be a car, somebody's gonna be driving a golf cart or some whatever, and they'll just drop us off at like checkpoints to go film. And we got there, and I ended up doing all like 6 or 7 miles, what it was, in the desert with like the camera in hand.
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah,
You're on,
dude, and I was wearing sweatpants. Like I thought, like, what I mean, and we're in the desert, so now once it gets midday, it's super hot. I'm holding the camera. Dude, I was dying, but it ended up turning out really well, and we got some really good shots. Turned out to a workout, so I was happy with it. I was like, all right, it is what it is, you know what I mean? And then later that night, we ended up going out with the whole crew, and we saw Marshmallow, and
dope.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. So I would probably say Las Vegas was definitely one of the highlights.
Was there a person that you met that you're like, damn, I really just met this person?
Man, you know what's crazy, and I'll say it here because like people think it's crazy, and like David was there, and Ilya and everybody, but I would probably say Vardan. Yeah,
is that the brother?
It's Nick Antonian's brother. Yeah, I would probably say Vardan. Dude, funny. Because like I don't know, I feel like I even like prior to working with them, I wasn't really like a huge like David Dobrik fan. Like I would say I would watch some of his videos, but I would just say like the person who stood out the most was probably him, and it was just funny like kind of seeing him in person. But no, he's a really cool dude. They're all down to earth.
They have their own restaurant.
So yeah, Jonas Kebabs. Yeah, they got a restaurant out there.
Try it?
Yeah, I did try it.
How was it?
Dude, it's really good. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you,
how's the pizza too? Dude?
It's amazing.
Oh yeah,
Dobrik's.
Yeah,
dude, it's actually fire.
Yeah,
you know what's? Dude, it's funny because so many people tell me that they don't like it, or they're like, oh, like, dude, it's it's bad or whatever. Yeah. But dude, I love it. For some reason.
I was gonna say the honey. I seen the honey spicy sauce or whatever. I think,
yeah. The pepperoni with the spicy.
That seems like it would taste so good,
dude. Dude, the best part is that like their deep dish, the crust, it has like this, like they put cheese around the crust, and it's like a that burnt kind of cheese, like you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Like that little crunch, and like that it's a little burnt, but it's so good. It's like
they do it on Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Dude, it's amazing.
But it's Giordano's, Illuminati's, and
nah, you can't beat that.
Can't compete.
No, they can't beat that. No,
Jen tried to be over
here too, so they know how it is, and they love Illuminati's and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's kebabs is good, but yeah, I'd probably, going back to your question, I'd probably have to say Vardan, dude. Yeah, no, it was funny. It was funny.
That kid now?
I want to say he's like 17. 18, something like that. I think he's still in he's still in high school.
Does he have like social media?
Yeah. He has social media. I think he does like some skits and stuff too, like with his brother and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'd probably have to say Vardan.
Yeah. I mean, he was just like such a funny kid, like person, and like David Dobrik's in the videos. So
yeah,
I could see why Vardan.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's hilarious too, man. Yeah. It's funny, but yeah, no. I'll tell you that.
I've seen his brother a lot, and Nick never seen his videos.
Yeah. No, it's funny. I was actually I had just met Nick the other day, I would say like a couple of weeks ago at one of the launches for the Xeela documentary.
Oh, sweet.
And he's a really cool dude. So
he's crushing it too.
Yeah, he's crushing it. And yeah, Nick was in some of his vlogs. He's funny too. Nick's really funny too. Them two together are good. But yeah.
So. Damn. So. Moving on from like, dude, going to Texas and stuff, how you feeling right now, dude? You said you got a couple months left, right?
Yeah, I have a few months left in LA, and then from there I'm gonna be bouncing back to Austin, Texas, man. So
was Ilya like mad or like in some way like
that I'd like kind of left? No. I think it actually ended pretty well, considering that I ended up going to do my own thing, and they're, like I said, they're all really cool people. Him, Bella, everybody, the whole team, and I think it was just more of like that decision was just really like up to me,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was really just up to me whether, you know, I go ahead and pursue this full time, with doing my own production company or staying. And, you know, I just really felt like within me that it was like the right time to do it.
Yeah.
Because also I didn't want to lose out on the opportunity of, you know, not coming across the partners I have now, or obviously my brother's one, right? Yeah. But, you know, the other guy that, you know, has done a lot of work already and stuff like that too. So yeah, I would say
That's crazy.
yeah, I would say that.
You excited though?
Yeah, no, I'm excited, man. It's gonna be a long journey, and we've already put tons and tons of work. Like I could already say I'm already putting in, you know, like the same, if not more, that I was putting in over at Xeela as well now, and I am putting in a lot of hours, and I am going to do everything I can to make sure that, you know, everybody's gonna know us really soon. Yeah. So
I'm excited to see what you.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. And it's the first time, like I said, I've always been an entrepreneur. I've started multiple different things, but this is the one. You know, this is the one where, you know.
I mean, at 22, but that's pretty impressive. Of how you maneuvered and stuff like that.
Thank you, man.
It's really impressive. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I had really something important to ask you too as well.
Hey, you said you were gonna start making reels, right? Or the new like podcasts or something.
Oh yeah.
So talk about that.
Yeah. So like I said, I've already explained a little bit about DNA Productions. But so what we're gonna actually end up coming out with, it's gonna be rolling out in November. It's gonna be a podcast that's kind of like a brother company business, you know, to DNA Productions, and it's called DNA Talk. So what it's gonna be myself and my brother, and we're gonna be interviewing and kind of like, you know, interviewing like podcast with other entrepreneurs, business owners, and really understand like their story, but not their business. You know what I mean? Okay. Like, because everybody knows them for their business, but what we really want to do is like, we want to understand like what it took to get there, and not just what it took, but the struggles, like the true struggles that they had to go through to get there. You know what I mean?
Like that. That's what approach we try to do with you too as well. Because like the videographer, I feel like the main person on the camera gets all the clout or whatever attention, but not behind the camera. Of what goes into it.
No, totally, man. Yeah, no, and it's definitely gonna be something that, you know, we're gonna be putting up more reels on. Like we're gonna have a separate Instagram for it. We're gonna be doing collabs and stuff like that. So I'm excited for that because, like I said, I've always been behind the camera. It's gonna be my first time really consistently being in front of a camera. So that's why I gotta get some practice here with you guys, right?
No, you're fire, bro.
No, thank you, bro.
Even the first podcast, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, dude, he knows how to talk. You're good with like talking and keeping the combo going. So
you're very engaging. You're very well spoken. Thank you. So like when you're like, when you started speaking on the first podcast, you're like, I don't know, it's just like different. It was like different. It was like a different vibe too as well, because you were like already knew what you were doing. You were 21. You just turned 21.
Yeah.
And you're already talking about the vision, already talking about like what you wanted to do, moving out, all that stuff. I'm like, damn, you're fast paced, but it's good.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. Like I didn't go to school, so I just figured, you know, I'm gonna just put in the same amount of work that I would be putting in school, but just towards the things I love.
Yeah, that's true. So like, if anyone hearing out there, just drop out. Like,
just drop out right now.
Not drop out, but
I wouldn't say drop out necessarily. I would just say really just do what you think is best for you.
Work hard.
Yeah. Work hard, and if you think that's the best option for you, then do it. But you know what I mean, just work hard. Like really put your foot to the gas, because you know, I'm living proof, sir. Pedro's living proof. You know, Gerson's living proof that, I mean, you could really, you know, build something out of, you know, nothing.
And I want to touch that too, because like you just said, even though if you might put a nice Snapchat like with all these celebrities and all these high status people, and let's just say with like luxury, you just said too earlier you're working 24/7. So even though someone sees that photo on you on Instagram and they're like, oh my God, Darryl, Herson, Pedro, these guys are hanging out with these people, these guys are living it up. It's not like that in reality. Like, it's fun to like record right now. It's fun because we're friends having combos.
Exactly.
Once it's done recording, we have to go back, record, like edit, chop it, all this, stay in context. Same with you.
Exactly.
It might be so fun recording that, but you still got to go back, work 2, 5, 8 hours for the next week. And I feel like people miss out on that. People not miss out, but people don't understand what it takes to actually do this stuff.
No, they don't. They don't. Unless you're doing it or you have done it before. Yeah. They really don't. You know what I mean?
it's really tough. 'Cause
Yeah.
like I said, I didn't understand what all this SD cards, laces, all that stuff, what it takes.
And how much it costs and everything, it's a lot.
And you said $4,000 for a camera, and it's actually not that crazy.
No.
It's still a crazy number, you know?
It's a crazy number, but
But like since like I'm learning more about like technology and the prices and stuff, it's actually not a bad investment.
no, it's not.
It's not.
It's really not. And like, nowadays, there's multiple different ways like you could make money, right?
Oh yeah.
And so, just figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what I did, and you just gotta figure it out.
I was also gonna compliment that Rollie right there.
Oh, thank you. It's not a Rolex, but it's not a Rolex. It's actually my first watch.
Oh, really? Okay.
First watch I got, I want to say like a few months ago. But I did make a video on that day. I said that I will, one day, I will get that watch I want, which is a Rolex, one day.
Yeah.
But no, it's close enough.
Yeah.
For now.
Oh, yeah.
No, but it's a good brand. I like it though. It's a
What
nice
brand is
brand. Bulova.
Blow. Okay.
Yeah,
That's dope.
Yeah.
I got a good question for you though.
What is it?
I like this one. At what point will you tell yourself, or not tell yourself, but like at what point would you be like, you know what, I made it?
Good question.
At what point?
It's like just for an example, like for me, when I know I make it,
Yeah.
I don't think it's bizarre no more. I've said it so many times. When I buy Michael Jordan's house in Highland Park,
Yeah.
just smoking a cigarette, just off the balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just got it laid out.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Yeah, that's when
No,
that's when I'm just like, I made it.
When could you ask the question again? Sorry.
At what point would you say to yourself, I made it?
I think I mean that's a great question, but if I were,
Maybe not that. At what point would you be happy with what you've done?
Or would you be
Yeah.
satisfied?
Yeah,
Satisfied.
with your success.
I think to the point where I don't have to worry about my family and myself when it comes to like anything, financial. I think once I know like that, my family's good and I know that I'm good, I think that's what's really like, that's the end point, right? Because everything else between, it's like, it's, to me, it's like, yeah, of course, who doesn't want the nice car, right? I have dream cars right now that I really want. You know what I mean? I have dream watches that I want.
Right.
But the thing is that all comes with you being able to do that, right? And for me, it's just like making sure that my family is going to be good and they're not worrying. They don't have anything like financial burdens or anything that they have to worry about, obviously, and myself too. You know what I mean? So I think that is like, when I know that, and I know that, every single person in my family is comfortable, then that's when I'll be like, okay, you know what I mean? I've done what I've always wanted to do.
I like that.
Yeah. I would say that. So
I like that. The question.
Yeah.
I was just trying to think.
No, that was a good question.
Yeah.
no, it's like a great question.
I asked myself that too. I'm just like, when would I be happy? When would I be fulfilled? And I like that fantasy. Yeah, like of the Michael Jordan stuff. Like it's realistic, but it's also too, just like, okay, but like I don't know. At what point would I be? Because
Yeah.
No, I mean, of course,
I want as much as I can.
Of course, yeah, of course, and that's the thing with like doing your own thing, and that is the perk of doing your own thing. Essentially, is that you don't put a cap on yourself.
Yeah,
right? And that's a good thing about being an entrepreneur and starting your own thing. And something that I've always wanted is to build something bigger than myself. One, and to not have to put a cap on how much I can make.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
There's like this thing when it was like the stats of like on like each job on like their salary.
Yeah.
And then so they put like let's say like a firefighter like 40 to like 100,000 a year.
Yeah.
And at the end it's like a surgeon and they're making like $0 to like $500,000.
Yeah.
And an entrepreneur it's like $0 to like literally
it can infinity. Yeah.
So it's like
that's what it is, and that's I think why like I'm doing what I'm doing and why I make the decisions like I've made. You know what I mean? To be here now.
Yeah. So. It's all about connections, how you pivot yourself too. I like that too.
Yeah.
It's like with the psychology part. It's like you and me can buy a watermelon right now.
Yeah.
But I'll make it into 25. You'll make it to 10.
Yeah.
Right. And then like the psychology goes into like it's like what you do with it. Right.
Yeah.
That watermelon you resell it just for double its price, and then me, I know that if I make it to a smoothie, it makes 5 glasses. Sell it for 5, it makes it 25.
Exactly.
It's what you use for your resources.
Yeah. No, and that's exactly what it is, right? And knowing what the value is into that, into what you're putting in. That's why it's funny you say that, like that like that book I told you that I recommend for everybody to read, $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy. Like he really does touch on stuff like that, and it really like proves like how much money that you could actually make. Right. And without having like an education, but just having that hard work ethic and the willingness to learn, because that's what you have to have. You have to just be willing to learn. Yeah.
I've been watching his reels a lot lately. He's the one with the beard too, just correct.
Big beard.
Yeah.
He's got like the mustache, super buff.
Yeah.
And his friend, dude, is the craziest thing too, is that he gives out all of his content for free. Like his courses that people charge thousands of dollars for, on like how to become an entrepreneur.
Right.
He gives them all for free.
Damn.
I did not know that.
All for free.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. All for free. And it's insane. Obviously because he's making money around that.
Yeah.
But like it's great. Like I recommend anybody that is watching this video and like wants to be an entrepreneur or have any sort of, business, definitely read that book and watch the courses, because you'll learn so much.
Yeah, I've always wondered why like most like entrepreneurs, there's some gurus out there that sell courses and they make all of their money from courses.
Of course.
Well, that's why I wondered, but I didn't know that. Like, like give everything for free. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, and the thing is dude, he'll do it for free completely. Because so the company he runs is called acquisition.com, and he works with companies to grow them, right? To grow the companies. So say like I were to come to them and I wanted to grow my company, he would take our company on and grow the company, right? And however way he has his processes on how to grow it. But here's the thing, he gives out all this content for free to these young entrepreneurs that build up these multi-million-dollar companies. And when they get to the $3 million like threshold, I want to say it's 3 million. It may be a different number, but a really high number. Then he buys those $3 million company, or not buys, but works with those $3 million companies to get them to 10 million, 15 million, 20 million.
That's so smart.
But that's why he gives them out for free.
Yeah, that's
so that
Garrett does.
It's almost like as if I were to be like, okay, I'm gonna have all these videographers, right? I'm gonna train all these videographers for free, right? But then when I need a videographer, they're all gonna be already ready to like for me to pick like any single one I want.
Yeah, it's like
and have the skills.
That reminds me of like how soccer, like in the US to Europe, like how Europe they spend like thousands on each kid, so that they can one day become professionals.
Exactly.
And then one day like the best of the best, and that's when they're like, they gave me my money's worth, because they're worth millions.
Exactly. And like on a smaller scale, if you were to give 10 kids $1,000, right? You give the 10 kids $1,000, and say Barcelona spent $10,000. Out of that one kid, he makes $1 billion for the one superstar that makes $1 billion for the club. They made it back like time. I don't even know how many. You know what I mean?
It's an investment. Yeah.
That's like but that's that's the investment that they make, and like with Alex, that's the investment of time that he's putting in.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's crazy.
I saw his life story too. He would sleep, I'm not sure, at a gym or stuff like that. But I like hearing those stories too. It like makes you realize too, like I don't know, you don't need it, but when you go through some shit, it definitely builds character.
Oh, of course,
it goes a long way.
Of course,
it's definitely cool too. I'm trying to think too what else. I feel like I had one more question I want to ask you. This also too, I have one on the spot too, but I don't know if you want to ask it, we can blur this one out. So what's the biggest check anyone has ever offered you, or the biggest check you've ever gotten while filmmaking? It might be hard because you're hourly, but I kind of thought that they paid you by like video and stuff. That's why I don't know if that still makes sense.
It's funny you say that, because that I think that's gonna happen like this week.
Oh, okay.
I think that's gonna happen this week. I don't really quite know, and not sure if I can answer that question quite yet.
200,000.
Yeah, right. Yes. No, but I can say what I can say is that anywhere, depending on the the client, right? Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do, is like I'm really trying to make sure that I'm finding the right clients that not only want great content, but that have the capital to do it.
Okay.
And there are, there are videographers out there that are doing, there's $15,000 contracts.
Yeah.
For like single days.
Yeah.
2 days. Like it's crazy. Like the money's out there. So.
Can you say like the person, the name, or the company you're gonna work for?
I cannot quite. Yeah. It's a corporate company.
Oh, corporate.
Yeah, it's a corporate company. So I don't want to mess.
No, yeah.
Mess with corporate. If it was a small business, probably, but like with the corporate, like I don't want anybody to say. No, of course. I know you, Pedro. But come on, bro.
I got one, bro. I gotta ask him. But
you gotta ask him.
But if anything, we'll blur it out too if you don't like that. Like how it comes out. But yeah, dude. I mean, it's crazy too. It's crazy how your resume is growing too as well. So now like you're just, I don't know. It's cool because now your prices can go up too when you charge people too as well.
Totally, dude. I mean, what I could say now is like I probably used to do stuff. I did used to do stuff for free, and now I'm charging anywhere from $500 to $1,000.
Yeah.
To work with me just for like a day.
It's hard too because like not even just with you, but a lot of content creators and a lot of videographers, they're very young.
Yeah.
One of the kids we worked for, he was 18, right? And he was working for like scraps for other people who tell us like $80, $50, depending what. It's crazy too because they break out that barrier to getting that respect for these people to get like to say your price is very, very tough.
Yeah.
Like now I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like you broke out that barrier.
Yeah.
When you get that respect from other people. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And you have to break out of that. That's what's gonna set you from charging $200 a day to $1,000 a day.
Because dude, you work with the boys in 9A. You've done some work here. You've done some work there. You can say that and be like, yo, like.
Yeah.
You know your value.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's it's great that you brought that up because that's what I think what really clicked for me in the past couple months is that I know my value.
Yeah.
Right. And only you know your value.
Yeah.
And that's why people can charge X amount of dollars, $40,000 for a film.
Yeah.
$30,000 for a film, but it's because that's how much they value their time for.
Yeah.
And they will find the right client is out there to pay you that much money because you value your time.
Yeah. But then again, you have to start from somewhere too, for just anything. It's like Oz guy, when I heard his story, he said he would do a lot of freelance.
Yeah.
But that's and I feel like he's one of the best editors, or supposedly he's one of the best editors on YouTube. You know more, right? You know that.
He's definitely up there.
I don't know, that's just controversial, but that's what I hear, right? I'm going based on what I hear.
He is definitely up there. I would say for the vlog style. Yeah. For sure.
But like I feel like a lot of people, not just videographers, anything you do in life, you have to do some not freelance, but you have to go through some stubble.
You have to go through it. You have to go through it. So it's that value part, like going back to what Gerson said, like that's why these working with these corporate companies it's amazing because they actually value your time.
Yeah.
Right. And they value all the work that goes into it, as opposed to, not saying small businesses don't or individuals don't. But it's just, everything's just more on a professional scale. And when everything's more on a professional scale, right? Just like commercials with athletes, right? They're getting paid out what they should be getting paid out because that's what their time is valued at. Right. Essentially, like you look at, Messi, right? Obviously, this
best player in the world.
Yeah, exactly. But it could be like exaggerated a little bit, right? Using Messi because but think about what his time to value is. Right.
Yeah.
As opposed to like another soccer that may look like him. Right. Say that I'm sure there's another guy that looks like Messi that plays soccer, right? But his time to value is, less.
Yeah.
But it's just wherever you hold your standard to that, and like that's what your value is gonna be worth.
I got another one here too for you too, because when you started working with when you went to LA, these aren't like little fishes in these ponds. These are big fishes, and there's competition that can replace you like that.
Yeah.
How do you not let someone else disrespect you, right? How do you like determine that? Because like. For me, I feel like I've been learning this year. Yeah. I can't really judge a person's personality right away. Yeah. Because a lot of people can portray themselves whatever, right? Yeah. Until I start seeing like their work ethic, start seeing like their daily lives or routines. That's when I'm just like, I get impressed. Yeah. Right? Because they can portray themselves really whatever it be. But like, how do you, actually I got lost in this question, but how do you not let someone disrespect your boundary? Yeah. When you're entering in that space, because dude, like you're working with competition. Yeah. So how do you just be like command that respect?
Like you're saying, if somebody comes in and takes your spot, or if you're working with somebody else, or what?
Let me reword it. How do you not let someone disrespect your worth in that field? It could be another videographer. It could be another content creator. How do you not let yourself like let someone else disrespect you?
I think it's just the way you carry yourself. Okay. Right? Because that's kind of my approach. Like, I've had other videographers think that, I may be wrong when they're right, or they may look at my content and they're like, oh, I could do better, or whatever that is. But I think for me, it's like I think for me, I really know where I'm at, and I like to really like say that because I truly think I do, because I'm a hard critic on myself. You know what I mean? And like I know when I need to improve on things, and like obviously like going through all these things that I've already gone through and experiences, I'm willing to learn. So instead of kind of like, you know, pushing them away or being like, no, I'm better or whatever, I'm just, you know, I'll just sit there and listen. Okay. Because I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like you just got to listen.
Yeah.
I feel like previously I would kind of try to like speak up like before they were telling me something or whatever, but I would just listen. And if it's good information, I'll take it, I'll consume it, and I'll implement it. And if it's bad information, then, you know, I'll just take it with a grain of salt and I'll just like, you know what I mean, whatever. Right. Because it's like, I feel like, especially like with like this whole like videographer and editor stuff, it's like everybody like, you know, in some type of way knows everybody. Right. Yeah. And you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. I asked that too because I'm just like, there's just like no way there's not like competition out there where someone just like pokes you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And there is. There is.
It's just like I ask you how to handle it because I feel like maybe there's someone out there trying to actually like, oh, dude, like this person's trying to take my spot. This person's trying to like, you know, poke me. How do you command that respect? How do you actually just tell yourself like, yo, like, this is my value right here. If you disrespect it, I'm gone.
I think it's, but also, speaking up too, like making sure you speak up and speak up when it's needed, when you feel fit.
Right.
Because before too, I would just kind of sit back and like, you know, I take the criticism, but I've learned to take the criticism, right? Yeah. Really like understand it, right? Kind of see their perspective, put myself in their shoes, how they could see like, okay, this doesn't work. I don't like that edit, whatever. And then speak with what I think is valuable as well too. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of times, right, being the videographer and the editor, you feel like you know more than the client. And for the most part, I would say that is correct, especially if the client doesn't really know much about, you know, video or, you know, making a commercial or, you know, engagement, whatever that is for social media. I would say the videographer or editor knows more, but it's also good to hear their feedback. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. So, interesting approach. Yeah. No, yeah, really interesting. I'm telling you, I've just asked this stuff because, like, I don't know, it's tough. And from someone, I know there's a lot of videographers out there want to be in your position, and they're probably like climbing up bit by bit and probably facing the obstacle. Yeah. So that's why I'm just asking that question too, because I don't know, I feel like it happens daily too, and every day you live. Yeah. So that's why I'm just like, it's a competitive world, bro, especially when you're men. You know, it doesn't have to be just about work. It could be just about being at the gym, being physical, running. It could be anything.
Everybody wants their spot, man. Yeah. Everybody wants their spot. It's so simple.
That's why I asked you the question too with like, how do you find your partners, all that stuff. All that ties up, bro. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Like you just said, like I hear you out. You've said some gems, bro.
Thank you.
You said some gems the first time I met you and always stuck to that. And I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, from that time, I feel like that was such a long time ago, and it's crazy to think that I was still like speaking that same language.
Fucking garage.
And I know.
It was cold, bro. I remember that.
It was cold, but I mean,
my balls went inside. But
but like, if you really sit back, I think just to close it off, like, you know, I would just say, if you really sit back and think about where we were, you know, a year ago, right? The things that you can do in 12 months, it's insane. Yeah. Right, it's literally insane. I mean, look at you guys. You guys grew an Instagram account from 0 to 10,000 in 12 months. Yeah. Right, and from where I was, you know, 12 months ago to where I'm at now, there's a lot you can do, and it just proves that, you know, you can really do, you know, whatever. And none of us, like, you know, are, you know, super privileged and we're given all this money to do these things and whatever. But you just got to get out there and do it. I like that. So.
I like that, bro. Any last questions?
No. Do you have any questions?
No, dude.
Anything you want to say?
Yeah. Anything you want to say? Any questions for us? Switch it up.
Anything
for you guys? I don't know.
Anything you've learned, like throughout working, like this year, like since the last pod. Anything that you learned that you just wanna let? Yeah.
Let's see. I would just say, like, listen. I think that was probably like the biggest takeaway I could take is like listen, and really like know your boundaries and listen. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's really easy to get caught up and feel like as you're growing, like you're learning all these things to like really act like you know them. Like you don't. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't. Like really just listen, learn, and then really do your research, and then implement. Like I said,
I like that. I like that. One last thing too. You gonna do anything next weekend for Mexican Independence Day?
Next weekend. As of right now,
cause your parents were born here, right? You said
no. My dad was born in Mexico, and my mom was born here, but my mom is Mexican, so I am 100% Mexican. Yeah. But man, next weekend, no, I don't think so. Yeah. Maybe just put a flag on my car. Put a flag. Yeah.
You listen to corridos or not?
A little bit. My girlfriend loves that. She loves what's the song?
Ella baila sola.
How does it go again?
Compa.
Yeah. My girlfriend loves that song.
Damn, let's go.
I was like, I'll play it. And she, I don't even know what it means. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what happens. Relax.
The only part she knows is the compa part.
Compa. That's a good song.
Yeah. What are the platforms they can reach you at, man?
Follow me on Instagram, D-Banks Films. Follow us on Instagram as well for DNA Productions. It's dnaproductions.us. We also have a website, so it's dnaproductions.us. That's the website. Follow us on DNA Talk, dna.talk on Instagram. And if you go to our website, you can book a free consultation with us. You'll hop on a call with myself and two of our other partners, and we'll get to it.
Let's go.
When's the first pod dropping?
For DNA Talk? Yeah. I'm not quite sure exact date, but I can tell you that it's going to be rolling out in November.
Okay.
So, yeah.
November?
Yep, this November.
Damn, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And we're gonna be coming in with some heat. Yeah. We're gonna be coming in with some heat. So I know you guys got your podcasting, but no. I love that. We'll have to have you guys on once you guys
become more established.
Get a little bit more established, and because that's why we're doing it. Everybody's got that story. Yeah. And I know you too. You guys got your story. You know what I mean?
We need to be a little bit more established. Yeah. Put more work into it. We still got more room to grow.
We got
a book.
More.
Write more chapters, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's all it is.
For sure.
Write more chapters.
Yeah.
So.
But thank you, Darryl, man. Thank you, Dave.
Of course, man.
Pleasure, bro.
Thank you guys for having me.